A very big storm system will be impacting much of the country, bringing heavy snow to parts of the central United States up to the northeast, along with the threat of severe weather in the south. Some of these storms could have large hail, damaging winds, and even strong tornadoes. The Storm Prediction Center has already issued a slight risk for today as well as an enhanced risk tomorrow. Let's talk about the details. Hello everybody, Will here back again to talk about the weather. We currently have a big storm system developing across the central part of the United States. With it, there's going to be winter weather on the northern side, there's going to be severe weather on the southern side. Let's get into the specifics, amounts, location, timing, it's all here. As of this afternoon, things are pretty quiet across the U.S. We got some snow in the Rockies and a little bit of rain here and there, but nothing too major. That'll change as we go into this afternoon. The surface low will start to develop across Oklahoma and Texas, bringing up warm, moist air. And as this cold front slides through, there's going to be a threat of thunderstorms and severe weather, specifically in this area. The Storm Prediction Center already has that area outlined for a slight risk. That's parts of Oklahoma and north central Texas. On the northern end of things, there's a lot of rain, and as the storm gets stronger, more wintry weather starts to break out. So early Thursday morning, a lot of rain, snow, and freezing rain starts to break out across parts of northern Oklahoma, central and northern Missouri, central Illinois, up through Michigan and parts of Indiana. Travel conditions are going to be pretty hazardous in these areas, and I would highly recommend staying at home if you can. As we go into the afternoon on Thursday, heavy snow is ongoing across Missouri and Illinois up into Michigan, and on the southern end of things there's an ice event happening. A lot of freezing rain up through Indiana, parts of Ohio, and parts of Illinois, with a little bit of sleet in the middle. On the southern end of things, down here as we go through Thursday afternoon, there's going to be a pretty good severe weather threat. The Storm Prediction Center has just upgraded this area right in here to an enhanced risk with the possibility of strong tornadoes. More about that in a bit. Anyways, as we get into late Thursday, early Friday, this thing starts to slide to the east. We got a lot of heavy snow up in Canada and extreme northern parts of the U.S. On the southern end of things, we got a lot of rain all up the eastern seaboard. Just a cold rain for everyone. And another big thing we've been talking about as this thing gets out of here are the winds. Check out this map of the wind gusts through the northeast as the storm moves out. Anywhere from 40 to 60 miles an hour is pretty widespread across the northeast. And even in some areas closer to the coast, especially out on Cape Cod, 60, 70, maybe even 80 mile an hour wind gusts in some spots. So if you're in these areas, be prepared for maybe some spotty power outages and possibly even tree damage. It's going to be very windy out there, especially through Friday morning. Here's a look at snow totals. A lot of models are agreeing on where this band is going to set up. It's going to be right on the north side of that cold front where that cold air is, but where that moisture is overriding into that cold air. Basically, in the storm system, there's going to be this narrow sweet spot, if you will, where there's going to be moisture and there's going to be cold air. And in those areas, from northern Oklahoma through parts of southeastern Kansas, through north and central Missouri, up through central Illinois, up to northwest Indiana, up into Michigan, is where those heavy totals are going to occur. You got a swath of anywhere from 4 to 10 inches, possibly a foot in some spots, and then outside of that, it's a very tight gradient. A few miles this way or this way, you're only getting a dusting to an inch at most. But on the southern end of things, there's going to be more ice as well. We'll take a look at the sleet. Just south of that heavy snow band, there could be some areas that pick up anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of sleet. And just to the south of that, there's going to be an area of freezing rain. There could be anywhere from a glaze to a half inch in spots, especially in southern Missouri and parts of Indiana and Ohio. Shouldn't be too bad, but it could be enough to make roads a bit slick, maybe cause some spotty power outages. If you're traveling in these areas, be very careful, especially in those areas that could get some heavy snow. It's going to pile up pretty quick, and temperatures are going to be very cold too during this time. Here's a look at the temperatures. This afternoon we got widespread temperatures in the 50s and 60s, but this is going to quickly change. This cold front is going to come crashing to the south, and these temperatures are going to plummet as we go into your Thursday. Temps down into the teens and 20s in some spots. Meanwhile, in the south, where that severe weather threat is, temperatures are still in the 60s and 70s. As we go later into Thursday, into Friday, that cold air really crashes to the south. Temperatures in the lower 30s getting as far south as Louisiana, Mississippi, even parts of Alabama. And where that snow is, temperatures could be in the single digits in some spots. And temperatures will remain a bit below average as we go into the weekend. Alright, now we'll take a look at the severe weather threat. Things are going to start ramping up tonight, and as we go through the overnight, there could be some severe weather. And then the big show is really going to be tomorrow. So this is 11 p.m. this evening. Showers and thunderstorms are starting to develop in the panhandle of Texas and also in parts of western Oklahoma, and they're all starting to push off to the east. So as we go into the overnight hours, these start to strengthen a bit. A little bit of a line forms right here. There could be a damaging wind threat and possibly an isolated tornado. I don't think tornadoes should be a huge threat tonight, although there could be some spin-ups in that line. And then as we get into the morning hours, it starts to push to the east, goes through eastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma, and around 8 to 9 a.m. it starts to move into Arkansas. A lot of rain for sure. Severe weather doesn't look like a huge threat up here, but it is a possibility with the wind dynamics in place. And then as we go toward noon, there's a lot of showers and thunderstorms, and they're starting to push more into Mississippi. And then as we get into the afternoon on Thursday in Mississippi and Alabama, you can see all those cells starting to pop up. These are what we're going to have to watch for damaging winds, large hail, and even tornadoes. A couple could be strong possibly too. And then by the time we get into Thursday evening, everything starts to calm down and get out of here. Now we'll look at the dynamics of this event. So the Cape, the energy needed for these storms, it's a bit higher tonight where these storms develop. That's why there's that damaging wind threat in parts of Oklahoma and Texas. And then as the sun sets, we lose some of that daytime heating and that instability really starts to go away until we get into the daybreak hours. And then as the sun comes up, it starts heating the surface, and those instability values really start to rise in parts of Mississippi, extreme eastern Arkansas, and eastern Louisiana. And this is why the Storm Prediction Center has an enhanced risk through here, because there's favorable wind dynamics and there's also a little bit more instability, meaning severe thunderstorms are more likely. And you can see as soon as the sun sets, these numbers really start to die down again. Now we'll look at the significant tornado parameter. The higher numbers don't necessarily mean that there's going to be a tornado, but it means the conditions are favorable for tornadic development. As we go into the evening, the numbers get a little higher across parts of Texas and Oklahoma. Nothing off the charts, but it is something to keep an eye on. They really go down overnight as we lose that daytime heating. And then tomorrow afternoon, as the sun warms up the surface, these numbers start to increase across parts of Mississippi. And this is the area that's going to be most favorable for tornadoes, right in here, and also parts of western Tennessee. This doesn't look like a huge outbreak by any means, but there is going to be severe weather. There's probably going to be a couple tornadoes, and there could be a strong tornado or two. And a lot of people are like, well, if the threat's low, why should I worry about it? Well, one tornado doesn't necessarily sound bad, but if that tornado hits your house, then it is bad. So everyone in this area, I want you guys to all be prepared, especially in parts of Mississippi, but also don't discount Arkansas and Louisiana, because these storms are going to move through overnight early in the morning when people are asleep. As you can see here, we have a lot of wind energy in the area, which is favorable for severe thunderstorms. The only thing we're missing is that instability. However, there could be severe weather even if that instability is low due to all this wind shear. So everyone that's in these risk areas right here for Wednesday tonight, and tomorrow, Thursday, I want you guys to all be prepared whether you're in the marginal, slight, or enhanced. Keep an eye on this. Make sure your alerts are on. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Anyways, that wraps up today's video. Thank you for watching. If you're still with me, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Share with everyone you know. I'll likely do one more last update tomorrow midday before the severe weather event really starts to get going in Mississippi. But severe weather should begin soon in Oklahoma and Texas in the next few hours, and it should continue overnight. However, the main event will be Thursday, like I said, where the most favorable dynamics will be in place. And also, not to forget about the northern side. Parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, you guys are going to get some heavy snow. So be sure to take it easy on the roads if you're out there. And I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next update. Thank you for watching and have a great day.